How do you change? Well, there's been a lot of self-help books written on that topic, a lot of money made off of it, a lot of motivational speakers. How do you change? That's going to be the focus of our message this weekend. Our series that we're going through in our sermon is post-pandemic prayers, and one of the prayers you want to be saying in this pandemic season is, well, what an opportunity to change when you're going through all the trauma and the stress that we've been going through. When Paul was writing his letter to the Philippians, he was going through a horrific season. He was in jail facing a death sentence in Rome, and is writing to them about reflecting on, boy, how does God change us? You know, talk about a great prayer for post-pandemic seasons. How can God change me in this season? And in the first chapter, it talks about whatever change God does. He summarizes it this way: God is the one who begins a good work in you. It says, he who began a good work in you, he'll be faithful to complete it. Boy, that's a great truth and a great insight about how can I be changed? How can God change me? And what's my role in this? And what's his role in this? A great truth, great good news about how God changes us, transforms us, makes us different. As found in the second chapter of Philippians, when it talks about work out your salvation because it's God at work in you. So we're working it out. We have a role to play, but it's not the primary role. It's not the initiating role. It's not all dependent upon us working it out. It starts with God working in us. And this is a whole lot more than just pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. It's a whole lot more than just self-change, taking a hold of things. It's great. Great good news. It's God at work in us. That's what it depends upon. Work can be drudgery. Work can be struggle. The word workmanship in Ephesians 2, I think it's 10, verse 10, it says that we're God's workmanship. And it's very interesting. Workmanship is not work like drudgery, like no, when God put us together and when we participate in continuing that process of God shaping us and molding us, poime is the word in Greek. And it's the word we get, artwork from, poetry from. And it refers literally to artwork. And that when God works in us, it's a creative, using creativity to make us. Here's a painting from Jan's family. Hangs in our living room. I think it was in the late 1800s. And this is a relative, goes way many generations back in South Carolina. Very interesting. When you look at it carefully, the head's not quite in proportion to the body. And what they told us when we had it evaluated was that back in those days, they had itinerant painters who would go around plantation to plantation, city to city, town to town, community to community, and they would paint the body and all the background before they left in their own studio. And then when they would approach a client or come to a client's home, they would just paint the face and the head onto the canvas itself. I like to think sort of how God at work. He does all the basic work. He's already done it. It's all there. And we're just, filling in, adding a little bit. But the bulk of it's already been done when it comes to about God at work in us. I like that. It gives me trust. It gives me confidence. It gives me assurance. I can't mess this up. I can't mess this up. God began this, and he's going to be faithful to complete it. It's God, at work in me, and so I need to work out my salvation in response to that. But I'm not causing it. I'm not the foundation of it. It's not all up to me. Boy, whew, that's good news. That's good news. If you're listening to this, I believe that's a pretty good indication that God's already at work in you, that he's begun a good work in you, and he's going to be faithful to complete it. And you can work out, it's not dependent on, but you can work out what he's already worked in you. It's not dependent on you. And that gives you a sense of, boy, I'm thankful, I'm grateful. That motivates you. I want to respond to this. I want to be a part of something good. I want to help finish up this painting and be a part of completing this life that God's changing and transforming all along. What great good news. What great good news. What great good news.
I was lost in shame, not get past my blame.